Listen, thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for calling today's hearing, and I look forward to working with you and on the Joint Economic Committee this Congress. Welcome to Dr. Furman. Thank you for coming to answer questions about the economic report of the President and the status of the U.S. economy. There seems to be a rather broad consensus these days that the economy is beginning to get back to what we think of as normal, and it's stronger than it's been in years. We've had a record 60 straight months of private sector job growth. Businesses created over 12 million jobs during that time. As I have listened to some of my colleagues across the aisle complain about how the recovery is leaving too many people behind, even while their budget proposal is busy throwing people off the bus. Let's put the recent progress in perspective. In 1984, when President Ronald Reagan was running for re-election and airing those wonderful, popular TV ads proclaiming that it's, quote, "It's morning in America," the unemployment rate was 7.4%. He was touting his economic achievements. Today, under the leadership of President Obama, the unemployment rate is 5.5%. 5.5%. So both are achievements, but it's a morning in America now, or maybe a pre-dawn. Let's look at how far we've come. Just over 6 years ago, when President Obama took over for George W. Bush, our economy was in a dire situation. We were losing 800,000 jobs a month. In the final quarter of 2008, GDP had shrunk by a staggering 8.2%. U.S. household wealth fell by about, I can't even say it, 16.4 trillion from its peak, and it was painful. Housing prices were collapsing. American families had less money, so consumers spent less and businesses suffered. Our economy was in a steep downward spiral. In fact, Dr. Furman, a predecessor of yours, Dr. Christina Romer, told this committee in 2009 that by some measures, the economic and financial shocks we experienced during the most recent recession was even worse than the economic shocks of the Great Depression. But bold action by President Obama and Democrats in Congress, as well as by the Federal Reserve, helped put our nation back on track. The economy today looks very different than it did 6 years ago when the president took office. U.S. GDP has grown in 20 of the past 22 quarters. The deficit has been cut by 2/3. The stock market has doubled. The auto industry, which was written off the record by some, is now thriving, and in fact, we are now exporting, and we have reached a record high in auto exports in 2014. And in the past 5 years, the industry has added more than 500,000 auto jobs. Inflation is low, gas is cheap, and the dollar is strong. My friends across the aisle claim that this recovery is weaker than previous ones. However, economic research reveals that this is misleading because financial crises, like the ones that we went through, are deeper, more damaging, and have longer lasting effects. Comparing this recovery to other post-World War II recoveries is like comparing apples and aardvarks. The economic report of the President correctly notes that, and I quote, "It is essential that a broad range of households share in the United States' resurgent growth," end quote. That's exactly right. Far too many people are still suffering from the lingering effects of the Great Recession. The policy initiatives outlined in the report focus on helping middle-class families. History has shown again and again, policies that raise the incomes and purchasing power of the middle class are a powerful and effective way to promote economic growth. It would be fair to compare our record to other countries that currently are recovering from the Great Recession. And as you can see in this chart, and it's on the TV over there, the U.S. economy has expanded at a significantly faster pace than other leading advanced economies in the world. The recent economic news is very encouraging. but our work is not done. I am heartened that there's an entire chapter in the economic report devoted to examining how workplace policies can be improved. As one who struggled with this my whole life, I'm very supportive of it. Paid leave boosts employee retention, lifts worker morale, and can increase participation in the workforce. It is good for employers and good for employees. I've spent much of my career working on these issues and living them, actually, and I hope that we can finally make some much-needed progress in this Congress. As the recovery continues, it's vital that we pursue a broad range of policies that expand economic opportunities for all Americans. Dr. Furman, thank you so much for appearing before the committee today. I'm eager to hear your perspective on the economic challenges and opportunities ahead. And I look forward to working with the chairman and the vice chairman in implementing many of these policies. Thank you, and I yield back.